Right, I talked in a previous video about the B-scope. I explained what that's all about and how it works. I'm going to use this opportunity to demonstrate a little bit more how you can use the B-scope to quickly interpret the angles on an intercept. I was asked in the comments of that video if I could also explain a stern conversion. So this will be an exercise to demonstrate how you can use range while search mode to control an intercept. Not necessarily the way you should do it, it's just the way that you can do it using range while search. And also a demonstration of how I fly, one of the ways that I fly stern conversions. Again, it's not definitive, it's just one of the ways that you can do it. So let's start off by putting the aircraft. The aircraft's currently just right of our nose, drifting left. So if we want to get a collision intercept, then we want to put the aircraft somewhere over to the right hand side of the scope. We know that from the previous explanation of how the B-scope works. I'm just going to adjust my view a little so that you can better see the radar. There we go. So that's pretty much got the aircraft coming down the 30 ATA or antenna train angle. That's the term that we're going to use to describe the angle between our nose and the target. I'm actually going to put the target back on the nose for a couple of seconds, and the reason for that will become obvious in just a moment. So let's pause it there. In fact, put the aircraft off the nose again. We'll just induce just a little bit of drift. There we go, and we'll pause it there. Let's have a look at the geometry. So we mentioned before that in a collision intercept, the aircraft, the target, is going to maintain a constant relative bearing all the way to collision. That's what collision intercept is. Okay, and that's the reason why the target comes straight down the B-scope if we're on a collision bearing. So with the collision intercept then, if we are co-speed and we are flying a straightforward collision intercept, and that triangle of velocities formed between the two aircraft and the intercept point means that that is an equilateral triangle. Both of our speed sticks, for want of a better word, are the same length because we're doing the same speed, and if we join them up at this end, then it makes an equilateral triangle between those 3 points. An equilateral triangle means that the angle here and the angle here, i.e. the angle between our nose and the target and the angle between the target's nose and us, are going to be the same number. So we already know about this angle here between our nose and the target. We're going to call that antenna train angle. That's literally the angle at which the radar antenna is trained in order to receive that target. The angle between the target's nose and us we're going to refer to as the aspect angle. That's a bit confusing because in BFM that was from the rear of the aircraft. Aspect was measured from the 6 o'clock, but just take my word for it. In terms of radar, aspect angle is the angle between the target's nose and us. Some people you'll hear that referred to as NASP or nose aspect versus TASP, tail aspect. But for us, aspect angle, angle between the target's nose and us. Antenna train angle, angle between our nose and the target. On a co-speed collision intercept, those two angles will be the same. Therefore, if the target's coming straight down the B-scope, then we know we're on a collision intercept. If it's coming straight down the B-scope at 30 degrees ATA, we know that we are 30 degrees aspect angle. It's coming straight down the B-scope at 60 ATA, then we know we are 60 aspect angle. And what we're going to try to do is drive to between 20 and 30 aspect angle, because that's the angle that we want to be driving down in order to conduct a stern conversion when we get to 10 miles. I'll cover that when we get there. Let's look at how we control that intercept. Clearly, if the target is drifting left on our B-scope, it means that our ATA is reducing and therefore the target is crossing our nose. It's going to get away unless we turn left and push that contact out further off our nose, increase the ATA in order to heat up the intercept. If the target is drifting to the right on our B-scope, it means our ATA, the ATA is increasing. It means we're drifting across his nose, and so we need to cool down the intercept. We need to go pure, or we need to put the aircraft, put the target on the other side of our nose in order to increase that aspect angle. So let's have a look at this in practice. Unpause. So let's first of all get the aircraft coming straight down the B-scope, or the target coming straight down the B-scope. Looks like he's drifting just a little bit left there, so I'm going to heat it up slightly. So there we are. It appears to be coming straight down the B-scope at 30 degrees, which is perfect. If it was drifting to the right, then I'd push the aircraft. Further across to the right in order to reduce that aspect angle. But they're coming pretty much straight down the B-scope there at 30 degrees ATA. So we're going to hold that and try and hold my height as well. It's just starting to drift right, which means we're crossing his nose. Our antenna train angle is increasing, so I'm going to, I don't want that aspect angle to be any more than 30 degrees, so I'm going to go pure initially. The aircraft's going to start to drift a lot. Now I'm going to hold that for a couple of frames, and then I'm going to go back to 30 and see if we can hold that. We've come down through 20 miles now. Let's go back to 30, hold that, and yeah, coming straight down the B-scope now at 30. Let's put them on the 30. There we go, coming straight down the B-scope. At 10 miles we're going to go pure, so we pretty much want to be set at this point. We've got the intercept set, 30 ATA coming straight down. We know we've got a co-speed, we know we've got collision geometry, so we know that that 30 ATA is going to be 30 aspect as well. So 10 miles, we're going to go pure. I'm going to decrease the range. There we are, pure. And now, because we've gone pure, the aircraft's going to come across, going to start to come across our nose. I'm going to come heads in here, so I can't be accused of cheating. And I'm going to keep that contact on the nose as he comes down in range. Let's bump it down to 5. I want to ease off the angular bank slightly. If it starts moving left, we've got to increase the angular bank. If it moves right, we've got to decrease the angular bank. Let's keep the angular bank coming on, keep it coming on, keep it coming on, keep it coming on, keep it coming on. Don't want to lose him. Tighten the turn there. And bring him back to the center of the radar and roll wings level there, and let's look up and see how we did. 1.1 mile range in the 6 o'clock. I think we can safely say, if we select sidewinders, that that is well inside the stern wear. So that is a stern conversion, and I will do my best to overlay this tack view so that you can see what happened. Debrief points for me. I let the target get away from me in azimuth a little bit towards the end. They're not using sufficient angular bank. Very, very difficult when I'm flying on the steam gauges. And that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. So yeah, basic demonstration of how you can use RWS on the B-scope to effect a basic stern conversion, should you wish. Thanks very much for watching.